try to come alive. Shower and the buses start pumping out on the street. The traffic starts jumping. Baby on the job from 9 to 5. I keep singing. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and you never get the credit. Crazy if you let it. 9 to 5. For service and devotion, you think that I move ahead. Seems to let me swear sometimes that it's out to get me. They let your dreams to watch them shatter. Just a step on the boss man's ladder, but you got dreams he'll never take away. In the same boat with a lot of your friends, waiting for the day your ship will come in. The tide's gonna turn, it's all gonna roll your way. 2 to 5, what we gotta make living, barely getting by. It's all taken and no giving. They just use your mind and you never get the credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5. They got you where they want you. There's no better life. And you think about it, don't you? It's a rich man's game. No matter what they call it. And you spend your life in the morning. 9 to 5. Love you, Dan.
Richard.
He called out the country market to have, to charge
I couldn't
it.
believe you.
And they won't charge it, except on MasterCard. Well, he won't let him, he doesn't like to use his MasterCard because then you have to pay so much just to use it. So he said, well, don't you have chickens are going to lay eggs? How's Brian?
You didn't take my picture.
I only took 2. His sunglasses. Goodbye.
Oh, I don't want you to either.
Hey, get there, fella. Oh, wait, I get up there. Gotta get a better picture than that. Now look at her and smile. You all smiling? Okay. Not bad, I get in front of you.
The hostess with the mostest. Let me hear it in one big yell.
Florence!
And who should be queen of the day?
Florence!
Would you sit? She wondered what I could do, so I'm going to crown her.
Oh, look at the butterflies.
No. I pronounce you queen of the day.
Your wish is our command.
And she wondered where I would get the rose. There's your hostess, mostest.
Hear, hear.
Here is right.
Long live the Queen.
Thank you, everybody. You wondered what I would do. I
Wish
said,
you
I'll
a
sing
Merry
a song.
Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy birthday, Florence.
Thank you, all of you. Beautiful. I think we're all here. I do too. How many do we have? And Rosebud, you see?
How's your dad, Linda?
That was Linda's hand.
He's still got it going.
I know he does. That's why I'm not saying anything. I have to watch my
They say they're really expensive.
How Eddie's not being real guarding with
I'd
the
say it's
camera.
artificial. I don't.
Eddie, he ain't no trouble.
Pain.
There goes Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all, Elaine the beer-guzzling reindeer?
Back here because the guy's bringing out the food.
Looks nice now.
Oh, it fits him really good. His other ones are short, and I thought, well, he gets too cool.
He's out of school. He's going to first grade next year. Big boy.
Oh, he's had that going for the last couple of months. The other one's just about out. That's it. I hope he doesn't leave that yet. He won't be going to college this summer.
Where is it?
I love your ornament you bought me.
What did they put on the tree?
I had to get a dozen of them.
Should put your Sunday best.
Tell me, where'd you take your haircut next week?
So we're going to do a
Are you?
song.
You know this stuff, you turn it upside down, also it's blue. That's what's on that tree.
Mommy should be there to supervise one.
Blue, well, Colorado spruce.
No, I'm afraid the shade's done.
That's the way you used to have yours.
August.
She said, I'll bet she's waiting.
August 9th.
I'm starved.
This way, we're going to eat.
The very top.
Matthew, come on.
Ready? Can we get the kids over here too, or should we just pray with them?
Come on, guys.
David, come on. Run.
You better scratch that joke.
You guys better do stuff. Did you come up with your entertainment?
Oh my word, yes. I'm all ready.
I still have nothing. Here I stand.
I'm always ready to entertain.
I left my list of jokes at noon, too.
Can you stick this
Most of them are sex.
It's
Stay
good
there,
to know
Matthew.
that holiday came, and aren't we happy that Aunt Florence knows her Savior? He has come to give us life and life abundantly. Okay?
I have to go play with somebody else.
That's right.
We obnoxious
I'm only doing this because you're all so shy. And you get, I think
Here, Matthew, you carry yours and I'll put your stuff on it, okay?
and you'll need the little dishes for salad. Tell me where the birthday girl is. Oh, here she is. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Florence. Happy birthday, dear
I hope they come out in your pictures.
I hope so too. I think it's light enough out even in the shade.
Oh!
I can't either.
Hi.
He's over there cackling. Can we get Mommy some ice water, please?
You go shopping on a Wednesday, you get all these interesting goodies. Oh, you gotta get your deer. What happened to your down there at the deer? Did you see all the decorations?
Yes.
Did you recognize him, Miss Brown?
Recognize who? I said that guy was so low in the bush. I knew it was fun.
Yeah. Traditions.
Three of them don't have it. Well, Nevy's is pretty bald and the other two is thin. You have hair like Clarence.
Yeah, you have to be quiet.
You have to have
I moved.
And you're going to have a lot
The
of
Wevodau Moving Company moved me on the 12th of June.
Oh, last year?
The 12th of June. Yeah.
What was the 12th of June, Cindy?
When I moved last year, the boys moved me.
My brother has hair like that.
When the
But he's
Wevodau
cut
Moving
short.
Company moved me.
Oh, the Wevodau
And us
Company,
girls
yeah.
have
They should form a company, they could make money. Moving people. Cindy's moving. Didn't she engage you yet? Didn't you, Cindy, didn't you tell him you're moving? Didn't you tell him that yet?
He's all here. Gang's all here.
Be quiet!
Quiet, please.
Quiet!
I want to thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. And I want to thank all my friends for coming and enjoying it with me. You've been so wonderful and have done so much to help me do this big thing. And I've had a wonderful time preparing for it. And I hope you've had as much fun as I've had preparing. Now, I can't remember anything, so I have to read it. If I do, I flub the dub. So, I was going to have this party. Come on! And so many my friends said, Florence, you shouldn't do it. It's too much for you. But, and some said, you're a little crazy, Aunt Florence, but I'll help you get through with it. So this is how it came about. I was going to have this thing, Christmas in June, while I prepared for it. So here's how it went. I revised a little poem. I didn't do it myself. And it went, I was going to have this party, and I was sure I was going to do it. My friends told me about a year ago that I could never get through with it. But just for fun, I was going to prove that things do come out all right when you disperse a little sunshine instead of grouchy gripe. So I thank you, God, for lots of things laid out for me when I get to them. And if He spares my life a while, I'm going to try and do them. I know I've missed a lot of things that I really should have done, like kindly deeds and words of cheer and tasks left half undone. But maybe when He sums it up, He'll find some little place where I can serve unnoticed and not take up too much space, and finish up some tasks I've missed in life's big game, for I know I've done my very best, and the score should be the same. So I'm going to go ahead, I said, and have this little fling while I am still alive, for I'm not a has-been yet. I'm only 85. Now, Richard has a surprise for me.
We are so delighted to be at Florence's party. In case you don't recognize, this is Miss Dolly Parton. And we thought it'd be very appropriate to do I'll Be Home with Bells On. I hope all of you join in with the last phrase of this, because we're going to need a lot of help. Let's all get the beat here.
Golly, will you?
Shoes on.
Oh, she took them off.
I'll be home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the tree and wrap the presents, turn the Christmas music on. Yes, Christmas, I'll be home with bells on. I've traveled round the country, crossed the waters deep and wide, made lots of friends and memories, brought joy to others' lives.
It's Christmas time again, another year has come and gone, and I can't keep from wondering how the old folks are at home.
I'll be home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the tree and wrap the presents, turn the Christmas music on. This Christmas I'll be home with bells on. Shake it up, Dolly. Just like back in Tennessee. Dollywood. When the snow is in the meadow and the sleigh bells jingle bright, and the kids are singing jingle bells around the Christmas lights.
As Daddy strokes the fire and Mama puts the turkey on, ain't nothing gonna slow me down this Christmas. I'll be home.
Everybody, home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the tree and wrap the presents, turn the Christmas music on. It's Christmas, I'll be home with bells on. I'll be home with bells on. Let's hear it. I'll be home with bells on. Trim the tree and wrap the presents, turn the Christmas music on. This Christmas I'll be home with bells on. Merry Christmas!
Yay for Dolly. She really did that good.
Kathleen's not average child, is she?
I know. Well, she did good. She really imitated her.
Tennessee twin.
I think Tom has a little something to say. For me?
Mine's not real funny though.
Well, I don't care. We'll let us sit here. Chris Morris support Tom. Let's sit here with you.
My mom was asking me last week what I was going to do at Aunt Florence's party.
Talk back.
And I said, well, aren't you going to do something? I'll just sit back and let you do your thing. And she said, no, you got to do something. You know? So this past week, I really didn't write anything down, and I didn't rehearse anything, but I thought a lot about Aunt Florence. And I started out by thinking if I had $1 for every time I've told somebody, you ought to meet my Aunt Florence. You know,
It was a snowball.
it's amazing. It's like everybody I meet, I mention Aunt Florence to. It's like my Aunt Florence is like 85 years old, and I always talk about the time I went to visit Aunt Florence back at the cottage. She was in her 70s at the time, and we couldn't find Aunt Florence in the cottage, and we were quite concerned. We were walking around the cottage. Aunt Florence, where are you? You know. We walked outside the cottage and we heard a yoo-hoo from the roof, and she was fixing the roof. always remembered that. I always tell that one quite often. I remember the times that Aunt Florence is walking back through the woods, walking back into the trails. And I always remember on the door of the outhouse, it stuck with me. There was a sign that said, "Halitosis is better than no breath at all." Stuck with me. But it seems funny how sometimes we ignore the people we love, and I know there's times that I don't come down to see Aunt Florence, but I always think about it.
I love you just the same.
And we all love you.
Now I think Janie has something. Janie Hostetter. Hooray for Janie! Yay! In the crowd, I think you recognize faces, many of you. But there's a few newcomers, and I want to introduce them, and they either wave their hand or stand up or whatever they want to do. And one is my good neighbor back of the Hemlocks, May Mary. And then I have another couple. But this is a very informal, it's not a formal deal. Another couple is very dear to me, new friends since I live in Mechanicsburg. Kay and Buzz Vogelsong. Then they have a daughter, Cindy and Jim Burkhart.
Goodhart.
And then, last but not least, a newlywed of 8 months, Candy Kerr. That's the new ones in our crowd. Now, I think Irene Koser, my dear friend, has a little thing to... Yeah, sure. And you know heard about Nancy and Ronald Reagan being astrologers? Well, this is my friend Irene, and she's quite an astrologist. Yeah, I remember the day Florence was born. You don't look that old. Yeah, you sure do. This tells me what happened. Yeah, it does. And she's going to give it to you the way it is. Yeah? I'm sure you will. On Tuesday, June 9th, 1903, Florence Hostetter was born. Now this is June of 1988. So this is what happened in 1903 on the day Florence was born. Wright brothers carried out successful flight at Kitty Hawk. And the news of the month, Ford Motor Company Incorporated. The U.S. Army adopts new Springfield rifle, and the military coup in Belgrade kills Siberian king. And the people who share Florence's birthday are Cole Porter, a composer, Michael Fox, the actor, Marvin Kalb, a newscaster, Dave Parker, baseball player, Fred Waring, conductor, and Nelson Eddy, the singer. Pretty wonderful. The president at that time when Florence was born was Theodore Roosevelt. Something I didn't know, we didn't have a vice president. Just a president. And these were the top. This was a top operetta, Babes in Toyland, and we still enjoy it today. And books, The Way of All Flesh. A lot of you remember that movie, I'll bet. Remember it? And Rebecca's Sunnybrook Farm, and they're still showing that on Channel 33 anyway. And the painting was La Villa by Picasso. I didn't know he was that old. skies of Texas and spring, beautiful spring. The famous verse, the cars, the cruise car and the glass windshield.
Eyes in glass. Eyes in glass. Dust in your eyes. And a lot of bugs in your teeth.
First Trans-Pacific cable completed. Alfred Carroll Fuller was first Fuller brush man. Fuller brushes were made then. Photocopying machines invented by G.C. Beidler, I guess. Finney and Smith began making colored crayons. Here's something for you kids. They started in 1903 to make colored crayons. The Springfield rifle developed. Now listen to these statistics. The population in 1903 was 80,632,000. Today it's 245,900,000. First car trip across the USA. And Florence tells me her mother said there was a thunderstorm.
Look at Dolly sitting there showing it. Shut up. She's winging it. Nobody's gonna
Throw that chest out.
Prepared something for me
Throw that
tonight.
chest out.
To do something. Jane, Helen Jane. I knew there was. See, we don't have a list, or I don't have it. We just are doing it very nonchalantly. So Janie's next. I'll sit by you.
First of all, Tom sure did remind me of a lot of good times we had with Aunt Florence at the cottage. She loaned me a bathing suit one time. I was about 12, and it kind of hung down. And I said, "Don't you have any safety pins?" She said, "Oh, in another couple of years you won't be flashing them around." So she said, "Just go on and get in the water." But we did have a good time. I can remember one night Uncle Chet came home and he brought some Limburger cheese, and she chased him out of that cottage. She said, "Don't you dare bring that stinking stuff in." We had a lot of good times with her out there. And in at the bakery, we used to help to wrap the bread. And used to help to stuff the old, what were they, cream puffs.
Cream puffs.
Oh, we had good
Yeah,
times.
the goodies.
Well, anyway, Janie said we all was going to read Night Before Christmas, but we couldn't find it. So her dear friend Katie sent her this, and she asked me if I would read it to you. It's about Cinderella.
It's a Cinderella one, girls. Listen.
A long time ago in a corn country, there lived a beautiful girl. This beautiful girl, name was Rindercella. Now, Rindercella lived in an old choking down brack. Also living with Rindercella in the broken down shack was her ugly other and her two sad listers. Rindercella was needed quite extremely. She had to do all the wordy-dirt around the house. Also in this corn country was a very pransome hince. This pransome hince was going to throw a Drancy festival for all the people for rows abound, so he could wind a fight. All the girls in the corn country had Drancy fesses, but Rindercella had nothing to wear but old birdie dags, which didn't it. Since Rindercella's muggly other and her two sad sisters had their rancy fesses and could go to the Drancy festival, Cinderella just caught down and cried. While she was sitting there crying, all of a sudden there appeared before her her merry godfather. She asked why she was kidding there crying, and Rindersella told her story. Her merry godfather raised her magic wand, and all of a sudden there appeared before her a beautiful bound and a 6 shite horses and a golden goat. Rindersella arrived at the Drancy Festival hoping that the ransom prince didn't want to fight, but also the ransom hince was waiting at the stop of the dares. He knew she was there because he was watching from a wooden window. Rindersella and the ransom hince danced all night and they well in love. But Rindersella was warned to be home at the mic of strike night, or she would be turned into a tumpkin. All of a sudden, the clock struck 12. Rindersella ran out of the Drancy Festival, and she was stunning down the rares, and just about beat the rotten. She slopped her dripper. No, wasn't that a shirty day? Next day, the ransom prince went all over the corn country to find the beautiful girl who slopped her dripper. He had tried all the girls in the corn country, and he didn't get any of them. Then he went to the Rindersella's house, tried it on her muggly other, and it didn't it. He finally tried it on the two sad bisters, and it didn't it. At last he tried it on Rindersella's tootsies, and it fit it. He was so happy, for it was the sight rise. The ransom prince and Rindersella lived happily ever after. Now the story of the moral is, if you want to go to a Drancy Festival and fall in love, don't forget to slop your dripper. And I heard a cute little story last night. Now you can take it for what it's worth. I don't know if it's true or not. But this lady said, and I caught in your net. Nothing to say.
Wait, you'll hear it.
Is it funny?
Yes.
Okay. This lady said she got up one morning and her big red Irish setter was standing outside the door holding a huge bunny in his mouth. The bunny was dead, he was all muddy, and she said, "Oh no, he's killed the neighbor's pet. What am I going to do?" And she's so fond of this rabbit. So she took the rabbit in and she put it in the bathtub and she washed it. And she got out her hairdryer and she blow dried it. And she took it back over to the neighbors and put it back in the pen. Several hours later, her neighbor came in and said, "You're never going to believe what just happened." She said, "What's wrong?" "Well," she said, "the rabbit died 2 days ago and I buried it and now